Okay, it's 10:05. Let's begin the meeting. We have 18 participants, too short of my prediction that I gave to Heinz. I want to recognize him first. He's not a guest, but almost feels like it after all this time. A lot of people were asking about you, Heinz, so good to have you here.
Thank you.
We've got one other guest. Don Good is here for the third time, as is normal after a third meeting. All right, let me back up a little bit. In our last meeting, I think we all agreed we would continue business as usual. So that means this is Don's third meeting, and that if he's interested in joining the club, we would welcome him in after we have a super secret meeting to discuss the matter. Don, are you interested in joining the club?
I'm very interested, thank you.
All righty. Well, as is our usual practice, we're going to have a long and serious debate over your candidacy. So I'm going to send you to the waiting room, the Zoom waiting room, while we discuss whether or not you're a worthy member.
That's
I'll
fine.
let you back in a moment.
Okay.
Hey, Don. Yeah, it's a near run, very close vote, a lot of contention, but welcome to the club.
Well, thank you.
All right, so we're up one member and down one, unfortunately. Len Wines opted not to renew his membership. Sad to see him leave. So we stay at the same level after that. No other guests, I don't think. Scanning the screen here. Oh, okay.
Good.
So purses report. Rylan, you're up.
Okay. Started the month out with
Hey, Rylan.
Yes.
You're really choppy. I think I'm going to do it for you.
Okay, please do.
All right. Oh, we'll give it one more shot because you've sounded all right there.
Okay. Started the month at $3,597.88. Collected dues of $151.50. Our disbursements, we had a contribution to the Mariners Museum for $1,000. We had a reimbursement for Amazon gift card for George Livingston. We had a Zoom monthly fee of $15.74. George Livingston, that was $50. Total disbursements, $1,065.74. And we wound up the month with $2,683.64. We still have 8 members that owe dues. Our membership stands at 46 regular members, 5 associate members, and 1 honorary member. And as Greg said, we had 1 resignation. That's where we are.
All right. And yeah, I should welcome officially our 2 new associate members, Bill Brown and Tom Ruggiero. Thanks, you guys, for joining the club. We appreciate your interest, and it's great to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you for having us.
Welcome
All
aboard.
right. On to the webmaster's report. That's me. Some regular things like posting new newsletters. I added the Zoom meeting instructions, so I don't have to send them by email each time. A few roster updates, including Tom and Bill, and Bill's new email address. Several new ship models posted. Well, they might not be new models, but newly posted to the website. Lee Martin's Bologna and Royal Caroline. Ron Lewis's Winder engine for a model he restored at, I think it was Deltaville. His model of the Titanic was at the Mariners Museum for a special exhibit. Is it sitting out now near the model stand? Is that the same one? Anyone know?
The one that's right around the corner? I don't
Yeah.
think that's the same model.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
the same one.
Bill Fox's Philadelphia, and he didn't build them, but they're like souvenir models, Nazaire and Gozo fishing boats, and a half model of the Gozo boat that he got as a kind of antique thing. Those are both what he called builder models. And his model Half Moon, Tony Clayton's Dory and Carronade. And I think that's it as far as changes on the website. So, old business. Is there any? I didn't have any notes of old business. Does anyone want to remind me of something I've forgotten?
Yeah, the picnic is coming up in September.
Right.
Do we want to go ahead and cancel that now, you think? Or roll the dice?
We could put it off one more month. Are we just going to lose the money either way, or is there actually a possibility of a refund?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because if the delay makes a difference, then maybe we go ahead and do it now. But if we're going to lose the money one way or the other, let's just put off that decision for another month.
If you have a state of emergency declared in the state, you might be able to get out of paying the cancellation fee.
Yeah, I'm sure the city will have a policy about that one way or the other. It's a city park that we go to.
But is the park officially open, or what is their status?
Don't know. It's a really big park. It's easy to maintain a 6-foot distance.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I was just questioning.
I don't know about the facilities though, because they would have probably a legal obligation to go in and disinfect it after each use or something. They might have them closed. We'll look into it. Do we have a picnic coordinator right now? Is that Rylan?
Yes. I went on the website and it looks like they haven't updated it for the COVID-19. I thought it was really odd because they even went to the reservation site and it looks like you can still make reservations. Based on what I've seen, I didn't see anything about, refunds or anything like that. So
They might simply be so understaffed that they haven't updated their website.
probably so.
Would you mind trying to contact the city? You might just get a dial tone.
Yeah, I'll try to. I'll do some research on that. But my question would be: is how many people would come and attend the picnic? If it's only going to be 10 people.
If it were today, I think we wouldn't get anybody. I'm wondering how much things might change in 2 months. I'm not optimistic.
Right, I agree.
Well, the way I look at it, we're not planning any details this month. And that means we'd have to put everything together next month.
That's a good point, Tom.
And I don't think it gives us enough time to adequately
You're right.
make plans. And again, I think a lot of the members are still skeptical about getting together and probably will be in September.
I agree. And as I said, I wasn't optimistic. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and pull the plug at this point. Any dissenting opinions?
I'm all for pulling the plug.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
All right.
that's the right thing to do.
Sounds good.
All right, I
Anything
will
else?
contact.
Hmm.
I will contact the parks and see if we can get a refund.
Okay.
But I'm sure with the budgets the way they are right now, it may be lost. But
Yeah. Well, fortunately, it wasn't a big outlay. We won't throw any good money after bad.
Well, if we have it reserved, we can all gather there individually and drink beer.
No beer allowed.
One tack that you might want to try that we did with the NRG conference is if you tell them that you're just postponing rather than canceling, they might just, dedicate your money to whenever you move it to.
Yeah. Good point. They might keep it on the books. I don't know.
that's an option. Maybe we can apply the money to next year for the September meeting.
Depends on how far out they do reservations. If it's like the National Park Service, they only go out 12 months. But
Yeah, they open it up in December for residents and then January for non-residents.
okay, yeah, we'll see. You got the ball for that one, right, Rylan?
Yes,
right,
I
thank
will
you.
find some.
Any other old business?
I don't know if it's old business or new business, Greg, but did you want to mention the yearly Zoom fee discussion?
Yeah, that's probably old business. Thank you. I have didn't make my notes properly. I'll try and do better in the future. So last month I got the pro Zoom account so that we didn't have to deal with the time limitation, and Riley reimbursed that. This month I created a new account. Instead of using my personal email address, it's webmaster@hrsms.org. So it's more of a club function. I was going to do I contacted Bill to discuss sharing that with the other clubs, as had been mentioned in the past. To do that, we'd simply have to share an email address. And it'd be quite easy to set up something like Mid-Atlantic Ship Model Clubs at gmail.com, and we'd all have the password. We could all share the host privileges. But he said that they were paid up for, I think he said this month and the next month. So I thought we would just wait until their subscription expired. And
Actually, it's just this month, right, Tom? I think we had done 3 months, right? Starting in May, so May, June, July. So I think August is when we'll free up.
Right.
okay, so if we wanted to do that, then I went ahead and just paid for 1 month this time. And then starting next month, we could share an account if we wanted to save the club some money. And we could ask the Philadelphia club if they wanted to participate. And I think we'd cap it there because we don't want to make it too complicated.
Yeah, you can't meet at the same time, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not going to try and be a national conglomeration or whatever. I don't think it's cheating or gaming the system in any way. You're allowed to have one host for your initial $15 or $13 a month. And we would just be sharing those host privileges. It prevents us from having 2 meetings at the same time, but that's not an issue. With this, anyone in the clubs could also use it to talk one-on-one with each other if they need to have a how-to session in the middle of the month. They could do that with a free account. The only thing would be the time limit. So I guess we'll put it up to a vote and then wait until the New Jersey club has their meeting, and then they can put it to a vote. And if we're all in agreement, then we'll go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds good, Greg. The other thing I just wanted to mention, I don't know if you've gotten any emails from Zoom, but they try to, for the folks that are just doing the monthly fees, they try to entice you to go to the year with some reduced offers sometimes. So we should look out for that.
Well, that is what I was referring to. I was going to sign up for a year. A few days ago, I was going to sign up for the year to save the money, but it was waiting until you were ready to join us.
Okay.
And then sign up using that shared account for a year.
Right.
So I guess I'll put it to a vote. Who would be in favor of setting up a Zoom account with a shared email address that would be accessible to the New Jersey and Philadelphia ship model clubs with the expectation that we would be sharing the fee?
Maybe the question would be, who would not want
Okay,
that?
sure. Raise your hand or give some indication if you are not in favor of doing that. You're not in favor of that, Gene?
In favor.
Oh, I said if you're not in favor, raise your hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
Greg, I think we're all.
You're outvoted anyway, Gene.
That comes under pilot error.
Pardon?
That comes under pilot error.
Pilot error, yeah.
I think we're.
All right, so go ahead, David.
I think we're all in favor of continuing Zoom meetings, especially while we can't get together. And I'm not sure we need a vote on this. I would just let the officers figure out the most economic way to make that keep happening.
Well, it's done anyway. So pending agreement with the other clubs members or just officers, we'll begin that next month.
Greg, is it your intention after you're allowed back into the museum to continue the Zoom meetings?
Yep. So we're gonna do it one of two ways, or maybe both ways. If the museum's bandwidth supports it, my intention is just set up the Zoom, the webcam, so that as much of the room is visible as possible, and that anyone joins via Zoom will see the meeting room with everyone in attendance. And if we're giving a presentation, we can share the screen that we're normally seeing in the meeting room, because we're using a laptop. We'll be able to share that screen if we're doing a presentation. If they don't support, if the bandwidth is too low, we'll have a conversation with the museum, because I think it would be in their own interest to increase that bandwidth for the sake of all of the people that they're having in that space. If that's a non-starter, then I will just start having supplementary unofficial meetings in the middle of the month, so that people like Gene Andes and you and Tom and whoever else can have some sort of active participation in the club. Hopefully we don't have to resort to those supplementary meetings, because we don't want to split the attendance up. But we'll make it happen one way or the other. So that's why we're planning for the yearly fee, so that even if tomorrow the COVID thing went away, which it won't, but even if it did, we do want to continue this format. Everyone's enjoying it, and we're pulling in more people this way, so it's a good thing.
Craig, have you heard anything about the museum or noise about when they're planning or?
Nothing at all. The question was asked via email, and Ron Lewis replied that they don't have any roadmap or schedule. I'm not sure if they have any sort of criteria. It's not being shared. Their only response was that they're being extra cautious and taking advantage of that extra time to make sure everyone has a positive experience when they get back. So I don't know, maybe they're working on some new exhibits or other facets to the museum, something to make it new when everyone returns.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
I know that the American Revolutionary War Museum at Yorktown and our counterpart at Jamestown, we've been open for 10 days now. We haven't had any issues. Of course, you're getting a little bit of a health check before you come in. I work outside as a camp interpreter. We're no longer hands-on, which is unfortunate, but so far we haven't had any issues. And the other museum I'm affiliated with here in Matthews, the Maritime Foundation, we've been open for what, 4 weeks now. Everybody's doing what they need to do. We're practicing social distancing and things like that. So it's slow, but it's coming back. And then, like I say, that at Yorktown, we are a state organization, and we have the blessing from Richmond.
Yeah,
everybody's they're being cautious. So it's probably working, but it's going to be a slow comeback.
I've gotten some emails from other museums that are opening as well, or gone to their websites and seen notifications that they're opening. The Waterman's Museum is also open. I think the Mariners Museum will probably be the last one to do so, and in their own good time, apparently. So we'll see.
At this point, better safe than sorry.
Yep, but we don't have any indication of when that might be, so it's just a wait and see thing.
Okay, Greg, or probably more to John, have a question. The taco stand, I know, John, you had accessed it. The reason I asked is because Bob Moritz had asked whether or not he would be able to retrieve something from the stand. Is that still a possibility? What avenue would he have to go through to possibly do that? Or is that even an option?
I would say that it would be. I can go ahead and try and do that for him if he wants. So.
Yeah, okay, I mean, that probably would work too. Because I think he was interested in retrieving something from the display case that he has there. So, I'll just get Bob to contact you then.
Well, I just made a note to call Bob.
Okay, either way. All right, no, I appreciate that because I know that you had mentioned briefly that you had done so, but I don't know if things have changed or. Okay, well, good.
No, and I don't either, but I still have the contact number. It's not handy, but I got it. So.
Yeah, because I did caution him not to just show up there, that he needs to coordinate something from.
Oh, no.
One of the easiest ways to do that might be just to contact Ron Lewis, because I get the impression he's been going over there regularly.
Okay, well, either way, I just wanted to broach the subject because he had asked me about it.
No, I'll call Bob and see what we can do.
Okay, great, thanks.
All right. Any other old business? I'm willing to bet there's no new business since we can't seem to do anything. Any new business? All right. I didn't expect there would be any.
Not new business, but just something that I think might be of interest to you folks. Maybe the discussion about museums. I mean, it's not in Virginia. It's almost in Virginia, but I belong to Naval Institute, and they had one of their daily updates came out, and Secretary of the Navy is about to approve funds to move the Navy Museum out of the Washington Navy Yard to some other place. I think it's going to go to right across the Anacostia River to what used to be the Naval Aviation Bureau, right on the other side of the river. I don't know if any of you folks have been there recently. I was there about 3 years ago with the 9/11 precautions. And since they had that terrible shooting there, it's next to impossible to get there. You could only go during the week. You could only enter through the gate, through the main gate, which means you have to drive to the main gate or walk to the main gate. And then you have to walk all the way across the yard to get to the museum. And when you get there, there's almost nobody in the museum. Mm-hmm. The destroyer Barry has been moved out because they put a new bridge across that will not permit a destroyer to fit under it. So they yanked out the Barry, and frankly, even if it was there, you couldn't get to it because they put a fence all along the river. The whole length of the river has a fence on it now. So unfortunately, the museum is not what it used to be, but the fact that they are moving the whole facility someplace else that's a whole lot more accessible, I think is great. So they're saying they're going to patent it after the Marine Corps Museum that was just completed. They're using the same architect. So I just thought that would be interesting to all you folks.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
So we'll call that the first show and tell item, more of a tell item. Anyone have something they want to present today?
You want me to start?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to stop and restart the recording so that we separate in the recording the business section from the show and tell.
Okay.
Just a moment.